Right, our reporters have been able to access a copy of a recent order in the Elgar Parishad case. Now, the Bombay High Court yesterday refused to grant bail to Jyoti Jagtap, an accused in the case and a member of the Kabir Kala Manch, the KKM. Jagtap had challenged an order of the special court that refused to grant regular bail to her earlier this year, while refusing bail to one. So this is the entire story. We'll be bringing you more context on the verdict as it was passed yesterday and on this copy. A division bench yesterday passed the verdict. They held the NIA's allegations against Jagtap. Remember, the NIA had alleged that Jagtap had, I'm going to quote here, conspired, advocated and abated the commission of terrorist acts as prima facie true. They also dismissed her appeal. This took place yesterday. And I'm going to read out for you more of what they had to say. They also said that the Elgar Parishad event is a smaller conspiracy within the larger design and conspiracy of the CPIM to further its agenda. They also said that it can be seen that there is a congratulatory message given for the success of the Elgar Parishad event, and a direction is issued to exploit the death of the youth in the violence that followed that day. So those are some of the words in the order that came in on Monday, that came in yesterday. Taking a step back, if you just look at developments that took place back in February, you had a special NIA court that rejected the bail application of 4 accused in the case. We'll bring you more details, but first my colleague Siddhant is with us to bring us more details on this entire story. Siddhant, we're sharing with our audiences a quick recap of what took place yesterday in court. Now I believe you are going to share with us some details from the order copy. Could you go ahead?
Well, look, there are multiple order copies, and in fact, there are several observations that have been made by various courts time and again. But despite that, this one case of Elgar Parishad, which was lodged in the year 2018 and later was taken over by NIA, has always been questioned by one particular section. That one section questions the evidence. In fact, they went on to allege that the evidence were fabricated and were planted in the desktop and computers of the activists. Many say this was a conspiracy of then a BJP government in Maharashtra. But again, there is a setback for a lobby from Bombay High Court because while hearing Jyoti Jagtap, one of the accused in Bhima Koregaon case, while hearing her bail petition, court has made some very serious observations regarding the entire Elgar Parishad event that happened in the year 2018. Bombay High Court observed the Elgar Parishad event of December 2017 was a smaller conspiracy within the larger agenda of the banned Communist Party of India. Bench of Justice A.S. Gadkari and Milind Jadhav also observed from the evidence submitted that Elgar Parishad event is thus a smaller conspiracy within the larger design and conspiracy of CPIM Maoists to further its agenda. The court said that the CPI Maoists made a detailed strategy to overthrow the democratically elected government, and Jagtap and other co-accused were part of the same. So these are some key observations that have been made by Bombay High Court. The entire material produced before us, court, by NIA clearly shows that the Elgar Parishad event was used and organized to establish underground contact with the banned terrorist organization CPI Maoist through its activists, which includes the appellant. Now, these are some serious observations that have been made by Bombay High Court. Now, day one, this case has seen several attacks from a section of people. Many say that this was a fabricated case. This was done by then BJP government in Maharashtra to malign the image of the activist and the entire movement of Elgar Parishad, which was organized by Kabir Kala Manch. And in fact, when Aghadi government came in power in Maharashtra, at that time, NIA took over this case from Maharashtra police because there was a pressure on central government to take this case. Otherwise, Aghadi government will spoil the entire investigation and hard work of Pune police, which was done way back in 2018. Now, at the time when NIA took over this case, Sharad Pawar, NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar expressed his disappointment from Uddhav Thackeray, the way he handled this entire case, and he allowed this case to be taken over by NIA. In fact, senior Aghadi leaders were then planning to set up SIT to look into the merits of the case, because they always believed that the activists were wrongly and falsely implicated in this case and by BJP government, and it is nothing but a conspiracy. But this one order which has come yesterday from Bombay High Court is a setback for lobby or for those who have been questioning professional policing of Pune Police and then later NIA.
Okay.
NIA has filed charge sheet in the matter also. Once again, in the observation, court has made it very clear, and while giving this observation, court said that the plan was to approve the democratically elected government. So these are some key observations which I have just read, and these observations have been made by Bombay High Court. Back to you.
Okay, Siddhant, just stay with us for a second. I very quickly want to take our audiences through a summary of the details that you've just given us. So for our audiences, we're going to do this on the wall right behind me. Remember, this plea concerns Jyoti Jagtap. She's a young female activist who's been in jail since September 2020 because of this case. Now, let's take a look at what the court had to say yesterday. The first thing the court had to say was that the Elgar Parishad event was just a smaller conspiracy in a much larger conspiracy to further the CPIM's agenda. Now, what they've also argued is that the organization that this young woman was a part of was a frontal organization for the CPIM. We'll also take you through more details. They also said in their order that there was a strategy to overthrow the democratically elected government. This is what the Bombay High Court had to say. They've also said that the event was to establish contact with a terror group. Now, apart from this, they've said that the direction was given to exploit the death of a youth. I do want to point out once again that what Jagdeep has had to say while defending herself is she's argued that her name was not in the first FIR that was put together by the Pune police. Now, I have Shaina NC with us from the BJP. She's with us this morning. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us this morning on CNN News 18. Ma'am, we were sharing with our audiences details from the copy of the order that came out yesterday. What is your reaction to the details we've been able to share?
Well, all I want to say is that, the High Court has come up with its own findings on the Elgar Parishad Bhima Koregaon case. And since the matter is sub judice, I don't even think it is for anyone to comment, because this is a division bench which has chosen to come up with the investigations which were produced by the National Investigative Agency. And what was used as an underground contact with the banned Communist Party of India and its activists is well known to one and all. I just think the seriousness of the conspiracy and the threat that it was then posing was also part of the entire findings. And obviously the judges, that have taken a call, be it rejecting a particular bail application or its findings that you just talked about. Let's adhere to the judiciary and respect what they say and not really comment or speculate.
Thank you so much for sharing your response with us on this story. As we're sharing with you, the Bombay High Court, as you saw, rejecting a bail application and